everybody, this is John, and I'm in my apartment continuing to pack up here, and I'm packing up my books right now, and it occurred to me that I have a lot of books about Korea, and so I thought I would just maybe talk briefly about a couple of my favorites in case there is anybody out there watching this who is looking for some good books to read about Korea, either before taking a trip themselves or just in case they want to read more about Korea with the hopes of someday going. The first book that I would recommend to anyone wanting to learn about Korea would be this book here. It's called Korea, A Walk Through the Land of Miracles, and it's by a guy named Simon Winchester, who is a very prolific author. He's written a bunch of other stuff. It does a great job of giving an overview of the geography of Korea. Simon Winchester basically just kind of takes a backpacking trip across all over Korea and talks about the different regions and also talks about the history of each region. So it's not a particularly long book, but it's really informative. It's not difficult to read, and it was really the first one that I read about Korea, and it really kind of launched a big interest, and I started looking for a bunch of other books. If you want a more historical book, this book here, this is called The Koreans by Michael Breen. The subtitle here is Who They Are, What They Want, and Where Their Future Lies. It's not a real academic book. It's pretty basic, but if you just want to if you want just kind of an easy read about Korean sociology and again some of the history of Korea, it's pretty good. Some parts are maybe a little drier than Simon Winchester's book because Simon is, like I said, he's like hiking across Korea, so there's kind of that aspect, whereas Michael Breen is just sort of writing kind of informatively about the different aspects of Korea. For the food people out there, this is called The Korean Table, From Barbecue to Bibimbap, and it's by Taekyung, Chungs, and Debra. I'll see if I can hold the... Sorry about the shaky camera here, but you can see it's just kind of a standard cookbook with some really nice photos. It's a really good and thorough introduction to Korean cuisine and Korean cooking, and so I highly recommend it. And the final book that I would recommend it for somebody who is initially wanting to read about Korea would be, let's see here. Here we go. Ooh. It's called Nothing to Envy by Barbara Demick, and this is about North Korea rather than South Korea. But anybody who wants to learn a lot more about the North Korean situation, the government, the politics, and particularly about the everyday lives of people living in North Korea, aside from kind of all the politics and government stuff, just everyday people, what they do from kind of sunrise to sundown. It's a great book. It got a lot of big publicity, a lot of praise, and it's very worthy of all the attention it received. So anyway, those are the books I'd recommend for somebody who is wanting to begin reading more about Korea. And as you can see from my pile here, once you start, there are just kind of the possibilities are endless. But that's all for now. I'll talk to you later.